Welcome to day 8 of the 30-day brand building challenge. You've come a long way. We're going to keep going. Today, we are going to focus on how to take the ideas that you have in your head and the value and the experience and all the things that you've mastered over the years, all of the beautiful gifts that the Holy Spirit has laid out before you, just as He's laid out all of the blessings that He's given to us over the years to create and birth and brand and build and develop all of the tools and resources we have over the years. And now He says, I want you to bless others with those. So this is what you're going to do. You're now going to go through a process, and I've got a worksheet for you, so you can go through the whole thing guided. You're not going to be like an unguided missile, don't worry. And I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to take you to my other screen, and then we're going to go through you creating your idea. Then tomorrow, we're going to start mapping out that idea so that we can start breaking it down. It might be that you've got one big idea, and actually we can pull some what I call little pinches of magic from that to be able to create different levels, or an entry level, a mid-level, and your most expensive option as such, for you to be able to really meet your clients where they're at. That's ultimately what we're doing. So I'm going to take you across to my other screen now, and let's go and identify your big idea. See you there. Okay, I don't know if you've ever experienced the Ikigai principle before. It is not mine. This is something that exists in the world already. And Ikigai is a way of being able to pull out what you love to do, what the world needs, what you can get paid for, and what you're really good at. And then you mix that with the ingredients of your passion and your mission, your expertise, the profession that you've kind of built your business idea in so far, the walk that you've come through. Even if you don't have that business idea, it might be that you've had a career in something so far that you're going to pull through with you. And then you match that with what is your contribution you want to make to the world, which is where we bring your cause in from the very beginning, what will fulfill you the most, where you get your satisfaction from, and what's going to create the best impact. And that then gives you the result. So that's what you see on the left hand side of the screen. So when I did that brain dump, for me, what I love to do is writing, speaking. I love designing things. I love creating content that solves problems. Like when I'm doing that, I feel alive. Like creating this for you right now is the very best and most fun thing that I get to do. So I love that. What the world needs is how to support. A lot of people know what to do. Maybe you know what you need to do, but you just don't know how to do it. So it's the how-to side of things that I love really getting involved in, that the world also needs. I also believe that the world needs more fearless kingdom leaders who lead like Jesus. I believe that we need less learning and more getting stuff done. So you'll notice, like, as we're going through this process, yeah, you're going to learn some things, but ultimately I'm assuming that you already know a load of things that you don't need to learn all over again. I don't need to, teach you how to do something from the very beginning on many things. You already have probably looked at different courses. You might even done a social media course and a public speaking course and a build your brand course. You might have even done a marketing course. You might have done all those things and still don't know what to do or where to start. So I think we need less learning and more getting stuff done, which is why this challenge is, at a pace that it is. What can you get paid for? Well, for me, that's speaking, training, coaching, mentoring, masterminding, and publishing. They're the main areas of business that we grow our for-profit stuff. And then what am I really good at? Well, I'm great at creating resources. I'm brilliant at bringing kingdom-minded people together. I have a very good, it's nothing to do with me really. Holy Spirit guides me to the right people. He just has a way that he just says, right, this person. Like when I wrote we just published recently, at the point of making this, a book called Catalysts of Change. And Holy Spirit had dropped the words catalyst of change to me about 6 months previously. And then again about a month or so after that, and then again a few weeks after that, and it just was getting more kind of concentrated. It was coming to me more often, but it wasn't clear what it was. And I kept asking Holy Spirit, what is this? And then the night before our event, I might have already told you this before, but the night before our event in England last year, one of our events, we run usually several events in different parts of the world every year, and the night before, Holy Spirit said, catalyst of change. And I said, yeah, but what is it? And he said, well, get a pen. I'm going to tell you. So I grabbed my notebook and journal, and I didn't get any sleep at all. I didn't do anything other than work on this idea that Holy Spirit was downloading to me. But he downloaded like all of the names of the people that he wanted to be part of this book, who were already within my network. So he was very clear about who was meant to be part of this project. And literally the next day, I put it out to my network. The people that were on the list all started to move towards that. So I had conversations with everybody. They jumped in. Within 6 days, we'd written the book. Day 7, we published the book. On day 10, we ran an international online summit. So I had all of the people that are in the book, they were all speaking. And then in 2025, we're running a one-day event and inviting people to come and be part of that. And all the people that are speaking in the book will be speaking on the stage and running stuff and doing workshops and things. So it's just amazing how when you partner with Holy Spirit, instead of him being the last resort, when you're desperate, bringing him right from the very beginning and say, Holy Spirit, what is it you're wanting to say to me? What idea do you want to birth through me? You've given me all of these gifts. You've given me these talents. You've given me these skills. You've given me the experience. You've put me through all these hardships that other people don't need to go through, but you've shaped me, you've molded me, iron sharpens iron. You've been sharpening me all of these years. I'm now ready to do something with all of these gifts that is bigger and a next level that you're calling me to than I've been doing in the past. And I really feel like you're calling me to this other place now. So Lord, I ask you, I invite you, I implore you to come into this space with me right now and help me to build out this idea. So I'm going to invite you to now go to page 2 of the worksheet, where you get to fill this in. So I would start from the outside in. So start with what you love to do, then do what the world needs. What can you get paid for? What are you really good at? And some of your things might look the same as mine, and others will look completely different. And then think about what you're passionate about. So then start from the top and then work your way clockwise around. What are you passionate about? What mission do you think you are on? It doesn't have to be perfect right now. Remember, perfection is poverty. Just think back to when we were looking at your cause, your vision of what you're creating, the kind of life that you want to live. When you bring those things together, what do you feel Holy Spirit is guiding you towards as a mission? And then what is your expertise? What are some of the things you've really mastered out of everything you've done? What have you really mastered well? And what profession is it that you are moving towards? If you're moving away from the profession where you've kind of mastered all your skills and you're moving towards something else, where it, like for us, we've been moving towards ministry, and I couldn't work out what Holy Spirit was going to use us for in ministry. But then it turns out that he's actually going to use us for the very thing that I've built my profession in, which is branding and marketing and PR and building businesses. I'm still going to get to do that. And so that's what my profession is. And when I match that with what Holy Spirit is inviting me to do, which is then the mission, you start to bring all these things together. And then, more about your contribution. These bits are, quite small. You might want to write them around the page. When our members on the Impact Catalyst program do this, they usually write all over the whole page. You don't need to keep it within these boxes necessarily. You could, mind map it out, and you don't even need to write it on this worksheet. You could do it in your journal or wherever, draw it on the back of a napkin. It doesn't matter, as long as you're getting the idea out of you. And then that kind of, you're working from the outside in. So by the time you've filled in all of these bits around it, you can now take a step back and look at that and say, well, I'm really good at this. I love to do this. So when you pick out of all of the things, what is the thing you could do? So for example, when I look at this, well, there's all these things that I could get paid for, but what's the one thing that I feel like I'm being called for? You know, is it mentoring? Is it coaching? Is it speaking? And so, you know, when you go round and you've got them all written out, then you can say, okay, if I could only pick one thing out of each of these boxes, then maybe, you know, creating content that solves problems, that's the thing that I most love to do. And then out of this box, all the things you wrote, what's the one thing that the world needs that you could incorporate with that? So creating content that solves problems, I can help people with less learning, more getting stuff done. So, okay, so I need to create a program that helps people to get stuff done using what they already know, and creating content for them that helps them to solve problems, so I can take them step by step through it. Out of this box, masterminding and mentoring, actually I think those two things, maybe even coaching, I think the coaching, mentoring and masterminding, how can I bring those three things together? So I quite like those in there. And then what are you really good at? What's the one thing out of here that you would pick, or two things you would pick? And that kind of brings it together. And for me, it was like, wow, all this really is about creating an invincible identity. Like if you've got an invincible brand, and then you launch that brand and you go through a process with a whole group of other people, other fearless kingdom leaders, bringing kingdom-minded people together, that helps you to then launch your brand with other people who have that same mindset as you and that are supporting you with that launch. And so that's how the 12-week Invincible Identity program was born, because it brought all of these gifts. Now, the next product or program I make, it might be, well, I think I'm going to tap into my writing skill this time. Maybe this time it's going to be, I'm going to write something for fearless kingdom leaders, or for kingdom leaders to help them become fearless and lead like Jesus. So you see, like once you've done this, you can keep going back to it, like what's my next thing, what's my next thing, what's my next thing. So I'm going to encourage you to do that now, and I'd love to know in the comments, what did you come up with? What are you going to do? What skills are you choosing to use? And like, what do you love to do? What are you bringing forward? What does the world need? And what are you going to create that you can get paid for? So enjoy this process. I can't wait to see what you come up with. And remember, you can book an impact call with me, which we call a clarity call. If you want to brain dump this stuff and you're not sure about what direction you should go, it's always helpful to brainstorm that with somebody else. And that's one of the things that I really love doing. So, reach out. Don't go through this process alone. Don't stress about it. Don't get stuck on it. And, I certainly don't want you to get stuck so you're missing the rest of the process. And I need you to complete this, even in a messy way. This doesn't have to be perfect, remember. Just complete it really messy, because tomorrow we're then going to expand on this. We're going to take what you do here, we're going to pull that out. We're actually going to start developing what we call the love escalator, which is the lifetime order value escalator. It's where you're not just getting paid once for one person to come and join you in your process. You're getting paid again and again and again. It's way more time efficient for you to attract one client who's going to go through your whole range of products and programs than to keep attracting new clients for every new product and program. So that's your task for today. That's your play work for today. Go do that. And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow to start building this out. Enjoy.